Good day, viewers. Welcome to the Master Seed Youth Fellowship, sprouting to new heights. We talk about getting together, the youth getting together, and talking about the challenges we face in our day-to-day life and how do we actually get to solve it. Today, we'll be talking about the teenager's life, and I'm your host for today, and my name is Pauline Nerode. I'm not alone in studio today, but I'd like our guests to actually introduce themselves to us. Yes, ma'am?
I am Oratile Vilakazi and I am a student.
I am Aniliwa Shaber and I am a student.
It's a great having you in studio today, and it's actually a great opportunity to have you here. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. And also, we'd like to take a short break while we elaborate more on our topic. Stay tuned. Welcome back from the short break. If you're just joining us now, we are actually talking about the teenager's life. I'll actually like to ask you, ladies, what is teenager's life all about?
Teenagers' life is basically about music, social media, partying, drinking, and stuff.
Anima?
A teenager's life is questioning. I mean, it's not just about social media, it's not just about music. It's like a journey, basically.
Well, I'd like you to elaborate more. You said it's a journey. In what sense?
In the sense that as a teenager, you're at that phase whereby you feel as though you're going through a lot and everything is just too much and you can't like go on. You feel as though you're overwhelmed and like no one else has gone through this before. And like you're never going to figure out who you are, what you're supposed to do, what people want you to do, and you're just left questioning yourself.
Wow. Okay, I like that. Coming back to you, you spoke about music and things. What type of music do you listen to as a teenager?
I listen to gospel. I mean, I come from a Christian family, obviously. Well, let me just say I used to listen to like hip hop.
So what happened?
Well, I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and I noticed that like all those type of music, they're not really necessary. I mean, they don't benefit me, my life. And so I decided, you know what, if I can just give my life to Jesus Christ, I'll be okay. So I listen to gospel only.
Okay, I like that. So, okay, I like to ask you, what do you think are the challenges that teenagers actually faces in our day-to-day life?
Challenges. You yourself, you're a challenge. A teenager as a whole is already a challenge.
Okay,
Without adding everything like school, peer pressure, drugs, crime, your environment, your parents, without adding that together, without considering all that, you yourself, you're already your own challenge.
I like that. Okay, I would like to ask, okay, regarding to we staying with our parents and being a teenager, there are most things that we're retrained from doing and things that we will actually love to do when we are on our own space and things like that. Do you think as a teenager, our parents do involve our privacy?
I don't think so. I think they're just trying to protect us. I mean, when you're on your own, like, what do you really want to do as a teenager? If you really ask yourself that question, like, okay, if I'm on my own, my parents are not here, what can I do? And it can either like it can be actually something that is actually wrong. So yeah, I don't think they're trying to maybe take away the privacy or something like that. I just think that they're just trying to protect us.
Oh, okay. Trying to protect us. Okay, for example, you are to that age of being okay, you have grown enough to be on your own, but you don't have that freedom from your parents to be on your own. What do you have to say? What do you have to do? What do you do in the situations like that?
Whereby you're not given that freedom
Yes.
to be yourself.
Yes.
Then you just be who they want you to be.
But that's not the person you want to be.
Okay, well, true that. You might as well just be yourself and show them that this is the kind of person you are, and they have to accept you for who you are. And you do it in such a way that you know that they would accept who you are, but without contradicting yourself.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, coming back to you, most as teenagers, we grew up from different backgrounds and different family styles and things like that. So, and you get this friend of yours that comes from, let's just give it this phrase, from the spoilt and wealthy family, and you're not from that family, but you've been trying to associate yourself with that type of person, and you guys are not from the same background. What do you do?
I think what I would do actually is just to just to talk to the person and tell like about like we have to like discuss like where we're coming from and how we see things. I mean, I guess yeah, but it's gonna be difficult actually. Yes, it's gonna be really difficult actually.
I like that. Okay, so as we as teenagers, do you think we should be dating or something?
Oh, to be honest, I would say when you get to a certain age in terms of when you're at that level mentally, not like when you feel as though you've matured now mentally, that you can, but with a motive, with an intention.
Okay. I would like you to break down that intention. You're talking about intention. Break that down.
With an intention that says that you should be aware of what you're doing, understanding what's going to happen afterwards. In terms of not knowing that what you're doing, you won't regret it afterwards. Being ready to accept the consequences. The moment you're ready to do that, then go ahead. Whatever happens afterwards is left to you.
Wow, okay.
Despite the judgments you get from people.
So at what age do you think somebody should start dating?
I can't give an age.
Okay, so let me get back to you. Are you seeing somebody?
No,
Okay. Why?
I don't want to.
I like that. You don't want to. Okay, so if you were given the opportunity to date, will you?
Technically, I am given the opportunity to date because the choice is left to you.
I like that.
Without, considering what your parents are saying or what the church is saying or even reading your Bible, the choice is always left to you. The choice is yours to make.
Okay, coming back to Rodile. Okay, for example, you're associated with this kind of friend that like partying, going out to have fun and stuff, and most of the time you don't have the opportunity to do that. How do you deal with situations like that?
I mean, if I can tell myself that, you know what, I'm not that kind of person. Like, I don't like to go out, I don't like to party. But then the person that I'm associating myself with likes to do that. I won't do it because I know myself. Like, I know that I don't like to do this.
But
and I won't
okay,
be forced.
sorry to cut you short. Okay, you don't like to do that, but why do you still associate yourself with them?
Yeah. Truly speaking, for me, it's kind of fun to just hear about what they did. I'm being honest.
Okay.
I mean, it's interesting actually for them to tell you like, oh, yesterday was so lit, that guy, oh my God, did you see that? Like, it's interesting, but at the same time, I'm telling myself that no, I won't do such a thing.
Wow. Okay. I like that part when you said talking about entertainment. That's quite good. Okay, so tell me, what are the challenges that teenagers actually face?
Defining between religion, defining between religion and a lifestyle in terms of being a Christian.
Okay, okay. Let's remove the idea first for now about being a Christian. Talking
Okay.
about in the general life, what are the challenges that teenagers actually face?
Peer pressure. People, social media, it's a lot to take in because now you're checking on Instagram and Snapchat, and this guy or this other teenager has so much more. This guy's wearing Gucci, and you can barely even afford a store at the side of the road. So the peer pressure of being unable to look like that in such a way that people pay attention to you, and the pressure of the like music is another thing. It's like you, despite the fact that you like, maybe you're the kind of person who likes old school music, you can't tell people you like old school music.
True that.
Because now you like, they're like, what's going on with you, you know?
Right.
Everyone is busy listening to this trend in music, the music videos. If you haven't watched it, it's a problem. They're like, what's going on with you? It's like you're naive or you're boring, and people, you know, don't want to talk to you and associate themselves with you. So the moment that happens, it affects your social life and your self-esteem. Because now people don't want to talk to you and you start to look down on yourself. Like, am I really boring? Am I that kind of person that, is this how people view me? And then you don't get to know yourself. You don't get to love yourself because you have made yourself based on what people have been telling you and not based on you figuring out what you are all about.
Okay. So, Oradili, do you think you're living to impress your fellow teenagers?
No, I'm not. Because my friends at school, I mean, they're not all of them. I have Christian friends and non-Christian friends. Well, those non-Christian friends, I don't really
Stick around with them.
stick around with them. But then I'm not living to impress because I do my own things. Like, if they talk about Babe So Dumo, for example, they're talking about Babe So Dumo, Mampinchi, and all of that. I talk about Travis Green. I talk about Tasha Cobbs. And they'll be looking at me like, girl, are you really serious? Like, you're talking about gospel and we're talking about this kind of music? So I'm not living to impress. I actually don't care. I have my own belief. Like, I actually don't care about what they say or how they live their life. I'm a Christian and I'll stick to that.
I like that. I'm a Christian, I'll stick to that. Okay, getting back to you on the teenager's life. Okay, let me put this to actually give you a picture of what I'm trying to say. You have this good friend of yours, right? But this person actually give you a lot competition in your life regarding to maybe you guys actually grow up together and things like that. But as life goes on, things change and you find that this person is actually giving me a lot of competition. How do you bring back that togetherness or that the way you guys actually grow up, the love and things like that? What would you do to actually put that relationship to be together?
You don't have to bring that relationship back. It's a stage. If you guys are bound to have that relationship back, then it will come back. You don't have to force it. You don't have to try and be that person that pushes the relationship, because now that person is already growing out of your reach, and it's almost as though you're trying too hard. In the middle of all that, you lose yourself and lose the friendship from the start. Because when you're friends with someone, you gain something from that person without even knowing. You learn from that person. It's an experience. So if that experience is about to come to an end, then let it come to an end. If it's bound to start again, then it will.
I like that. Thank you for that. And viewers, we'd like to take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back from the short break, and we are actually talking about the teenager's life. Okay, getting back to you guys, let's get back to the aspect of social media. What do you think? What are the benefits of social media in a teenager's life?
Benefits. It helps you exposure. You get exposed to new things that you probably never knew about yourself that you would actually like. You get exposed to learning new things about yourself. You learn new skills, you acquire new skills, and then you use them later on in life.
I like that. Rajali, do you have something to add to that?
Well, as she said, like you learn new things, and also like I think it might help you as well, but not in a bad way, but in a good way. It might help you, but in a good way. I mean, it depends actually.
Okay, elaborate more on that if you say it depends. Give me the good ways.
The good ways. If you're on social media as a teenager and you go online to search about what can I, or like your career, stuff like that. I mean, you learn like what requirements are needed for your career and stuff like that. And then the bad ones, you go on social media to watch pornography, you you download circular music and stuff, which you actually don't need. Let me just say that you don't actually need those things like pornography and all that.
Okay.
And this naughty and bad things.
Okay, I like that. So, okay, talking about social media, do you think you use the social media right?
Yes,
Are you
I
sure?
I do. I seriously do. I really do.
Do you want us to investigate more on that?
Yeah. You can. Yeah, you can.
Okay, I like that. Okay, being a teenager, getting to your parents and things like that, do you think your parents force you to go to church?
Me,
Or being,
personally,
yes, or being a Christian in a way?
personally,
Yes.
no. Because, I mean, you might as, if your parents are forcing you, you can get to church and just be mute. I mean, no one is going to come to you and say, sing. No one would say, you're not praying. No one would say, when last did you read your Bible? I mean, sure, your parents can, randomly ask you those questions. But it's left with you and God while you're going to church. That's why I said the choice is always left to you. You might be forced, but just because you're forced and you're sitting there doesn't mean you're actually going to church. You have your own reasons, your own personal reasons for going to church. I might be going to church because, okay, I just want to go and be grateful and just thank God for everything is done. I might go to church because I want to see that friend and just talk about what happened during the week.
That guy.
I might be going to church because I want to, join the choir and just show off how good I am in singing, my voice and everything, just to tell people that this is the kind of person I am. So your parents would force you. But when you get there, the choice is left to you.
I like that. Your parents will force you, but okay. So have you been forced before?
Oh. No. Maybe growing up as a kid, when you're young and they're like, let's go to church. You're like, no, I don't want to go to church today. Maybe as a kid. But then eventually just learn to love it. Like love and have that love for church. Not just seeing it as that place whereby every parent is looking at whose child is behaving. They're checking if you greeted them or not so they can report you to your mom later. Not
That's
looking
true,
at
that's
not,
true,
but
yes.
looking at it from that whole perspective and just loving it because of the people that you found in church and how the relationship you have with them. Eventually learning to love and feel that love and that that grace and that peace in church.
I like that. Okay, so already, are you on social media?
Yes.
What aspects of social media are you on?
Instagram.
And
That's the only social media I'm on.
wow, okay.
I'm serious.
So how many followers do you have on social media?
I have 105.
Wow, that's not bad. So are you thinking to get more?
Not really, because they just follow you. They just like your post. Then what else? They just like them. They just want to see what you're doing, what you did last week, which car were you in, which restaurant were you eating in, and stuff like that. So I'm not really planning on getting more followers.
Okay. So, do you think can teenagers live a proper life without social media?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I'm
And
serious,
is there no? Is there no? Is there no? Okay. Let's hear the yes. Let's get to the yes.
Like as a teenager, you don't really need social media. I mean, you can communicate to people like right around you. You don't need to be on Instagram to talk to that person in California just because, oh, you look so hot. I need to follow this person. You don't really need that. I mean, you have people around you.
Okay.
You can communicate to. They can tell you like, you look so good today. You look beautiful today. You look handsome today. You don't need those people from Nigeria, from America to tell you
Sorry
like,
to cut you short. Very okay. Then you meet this very good friend of yours today, and the person is actually before you get to see the person, maybe possibility you will not see the person in years to come or something. Won't you wish to talk to the person after that conversation that you guys had?
yeah, I would like to, but you can call. You don't really have to be on Facebook to talk to the person. You don't really have to be on Twitter, on Instagram to talk to the person. You can actually take their numbers and call them or message. I mean, but still, I mean, like social media, like Facebook and Twitter. I mean, I'm talking about that. Like,
Let's get to the let's get to the no part.
How do you call someone when you don't have airtime? I don't
you can save your money. I mean, the money that they give you like every day, you get pocket money.
Okay.
You can save that money and you like, you know what, I don't have all these social medias and all these networks. I can actually save this airtime. Like I can actually save this money to actually buy airtime. 15 rand is not bad. 5 rand is not bad. I mean, you're not gonna talk to the person like the whole day, like, oh my gosh, today, my day, like from 7:30, I took a bath today, and I ate this, and I went to school, and I did this. Oh my gosh, this person did this to me. I mean, you won't say that. We'll just say, hi, how are you doing? I hope you're well. How's work? How's this? How's that? That's it.
Can we hear the no part? Can we get let's hear the no part?
Can I first go back to that?
Please do.
How does your relationship with that person grow when you talk about the same thing every time you call?
You don't. It's not really. You don't really have to talk about the same thing every day. I mean, you can just start like, "Hi, how are you doing? I'm good." And how's your mom? Or how's business going? Or how are you planning to do this? Or how are you doing this? You don't really have to be like 24/7. Like, how was your day? What did you eat? What did you do at school? I mean, it doesn't have to be in
1 minute remaining and your airtime runs out.
Can we hear
So not to the no part.
Okay.
This day and age, our generation didn't grow up without social media. We grew up with social media. So how are you supposed to live without something that you clearly grew up with? It's almost as though everything, our day-to-day life. I'm not saying that there are people I'm not saying the teenagers that, can't live without social media. But most teenagers can't live without social media. Because for them, it's just always been a thing of being in touch, being able to get out of that space while in your own space. I mean, being able to see certain things, like view certain places that you one day dream to go to and get to, because through social media, it's just, you just build that interest and that love for pretty much things you've never actually seen in your life, like, physically and everything. So yeah, we can't do without social media.
Okay, if you say so, no
But you
problem.
can control how much you use social media.
I like that. You can control how much you use social media. So getting back to the both of you, do you guys use your social media to evangelize, to preach the word, to share words to souls and stuff?
I do, but honestly speaking, I prefer doing it face to face because I mean, even if you talk to that person, like you send a message like, you know what, God loves you, what you're doing, you should, it's actually a wrong thing. Stuff. The person is actually reading the message, but it's not actually getting here, or it's not actually getting here. Just like, okay, this person, so boring. So if you do it face to face, I mean, you'll be able to see the person's like emotion, like, okay,
Physically,
yes.
things like that.
So I do it, but then I prefer doing it face to face and physically.
Okay.
I try to do it because it takes a lot to evangelize to someone. It's not easy to move from talking about art or from talking about music to just hitting that spot that just go to that conversation everyone tries to get away from. Let's talk about God, and that you know that response you get from them. The moment the person is just like, okay, do you love God? And they start saying yes continuously, then you know you're not getting anywhere. So that already discourages you to evangelize over the phone with someone, even if it's like through social media or anything. Because we all get this chain message thing whereby if you don't send it to 15 people, you get bad luck for, I don't know, 10 years. That alone is irritating. So now imagine you being realistic and you being real and you telling someone about God from like the depth of your heart, you know, and then the person already views it as one of those chain messages.
Yes, true.
So it discourages you to grow as a Christian.
Okay.
That alone is a challenge.
True. Okay. Do you have any message that you would like to actually share to the youth out there that are watching or will get to watch us later in YouTube and stuff?
I would say as teenagers, we let's just be careful of what we do, how we do things. Let us not try to defy guidance from our parents because we do need the wisdom. Don't say you're gonna go your way and then your parents' way is not the right way. Just know that we all need wisdom, and yes, that's all I have to say.
Just be you, do you. But remember the choice you're making and remember what is yet to come. Because it doesn't matter what your parents tell you, it doesn't matter what everyone else is saying. It's all about you. And the moment you learn to accept that it is all about me, you'll be fine with life.
Thank you very much for that. It's a great one. Just as they have said, know what you want and actually get wisdom from your parents. Thank you for joining us in studio today. It's a great opportunity having you here. And for those who like to get this clip that was unable to watch us today or live, you can follow us on YouTube and also on Facebook and Twitter. It goes The Master Seed. Thank you very much for joining us today. It was a great pleasure. Thank you.